Hey guys, David Chavarona here with Luma AI, and you've probably seen or you've used skills in other AI platforms. Well, Luma also has skills, and Luma skills are pretty unique because they operate in our multimodal, multi-model shareable board. And thanks to the agent, they're really easy and quick to make. And just as a recap, skills are repeatable workflows. They can be made to perform different types of creative tasks. Something as simple as applying a particular style to any image or a set of images. A skill can be built to run a multi-step process like editing images and then maybe creating a particular kind of video with them. And skills can be created in multiple ways. They can also be run in multiple ways. They can be edited, and they can even be chained together. And skills are also really easy to share with anybody as a link that they can import into any one of their boards. Okay, let's make a couple skills. Even something as simple as this can be turned into a skill. And also, just as a reminder, if you drop a text box onto your board and you write down your prompt, it now becomes an actual asset that you can use. So in this case, I could potentially just select this and tell the agent, turn this into a skill. Or a different way to create a skill would be like if we open a new chat and we can literally just tell the agent, create a skill that repaints any object in a matte color, which then ended up as this matte recolor skill. If I click on a skill, whether it be in the chat or through the skills library shortcut down here at the bottom that's represented by that puzzle piece, once I click on that skill, it's going to pull up the whole skill modal, which shows you the information behind that skill. The name of it, which I can edit, the brief description, and the main body of the skill, which is really a prompt-based repeatable workflow. That's truly what the skill is. When I hit the share link, it's going to ask me to select which skills do I want to share. I share that skill and creating a magic link, which I just copied to my clipboard. And then I can open up any other window and just click Command V or paste, and then it's going to enter this import skill modal, let's call it, and then I would just add to my board, and now this skill is available inside of this board as well. So move skills from board to board as easily as sharing them with a magic link and basically just copying and pasting them into a new board in the same way that you're used to copying and pasting any other asset. Another really easy way to create a skill, and sometimes this is the way that works best when you have a process that you've created on your board and you don't really know exactly how you got there, or you didn't keep track of all the prompts by writing them on your board. You just know that you got to an output that you like and you want to be able to repeat that. Luckily, when you're in a board and you're making assets, every asset has a footprint, so to speak. Click info inside of any asset that you've generated, even includes the input image that you may have used or whatever input asset you may have used. It includes the model resolution. It also includes the prompt that your agent passed on to one of the models. In this case, GPT-2 was the image model used to create this particular file. And so knowing that there's sort of this metadata that's behind this image, I could literally select just that single image and say, turn this into a skill. And that is a different way to create a skill, an output-based skill. Now we can start watching the agent work through that skill creation process. It will start telling you and informing you what it's doing and how it's going about it. In this case, it starts realizing that in order to get from here to here, there are some crucial steps that it needed to take. For example, it needs to keep the composition intact, the structure, the pose, even that film grain that's built into the image. Everything that was done in order to get from A to B is being recorded by the agent, and it's bringing it up in this whole process, asking you the questions to lock the skill in and lock the different aspects of it. So in this case, it's like, what's the core reusable intent of the skill? Is it the cultural relocation, general recast, composition transplant? Is it something else? I am going to say it is the cultural relocation. That's the main goal and the main purpose of this particular workflow. And so I'm just going to select that and click send. and keep locking in this skill according to that selection. Now it's asking me another follow-up question. How should the subject's identity be decided each run? Is it going to be automatically from the location? Is it going to be always specified by me? Is it going to be automatic but overridable, something else? In this case, I'm going to say automatically from the location because that is actually what this workflow is supposed to do. And so the subject's ethnicity and dress is going to follow the target place by default. I'm going to select that and I'm going to hit send. Now the agent continues to work through that, and it looks like it's kind of locked in now after I answer those couple questions. It's going to go also into testing mode. So the skill is not actually going to get created until it performs a test and you sign off on the final output of that test. You can also continue to run multiple tests and ask it to provide its own assets to run the test with, or you can provide another asset that you may want to test out the skill with before saving it and locking it in. While we wait for that to happen, I'll show you a different way to create a skill. Sometimes we have these long workflows and long processes that we've created on our board. I'm usually trying to be really good about it and try to write down all my prompts so that anyone who comes into the board understands exactly how I got from A to B. And what happens then is you end up with kind of a big process like this, but it's organized and it makes sense and it kind of flows in a certain way. So what I can actually do is I can literally highlight this entire process. And as you can see, it's all being referenced in my agent chat now. And now I can literally say something like distill this entire process into a skill, or simply turn this process into a skill. That is a different way to create a skill as well. Another way of creating a skill is if you've ever created a prompt-based repeatable workflow doc by telling the agent, create a prompt-based repeatable workflow text doc that does X and that is triggered by X. Basically, I could say, create a prompt-based repeatable workflow that paints an object in a matte finish and is triggered by selecting it and selecting another image and saying run. That could be a way that I could make a workflow document just like this. If you have documents like that, you can also just select them and literally tell the agent, turn this process into a skill. So multiple ways of turning something into a skill. Let's look here at what we did earlier. I'm not quite happy with this. She has like this bag in between her legs. The way that she's squatting down does not match the overall size of her in the image is much bigger in the original. The way that she's holding whatever object she has in her hands is also not the same. So what I would do here is I would say, before you save it, edit this skill to incorporate this feedback. And now I would just give it the feedback that I have, which is basically exactly what I was just saying. Here, I'll just send this for now. It will go through that editing process and then it will give you an updated test as soon as it's done, and to try to get you to sign off on that and save it or lock it in once that's done. Now we can see the agent going through the rest of that skill editing process as it tries to correct the things it got wrong. And you can see it outlining everything here and telling you exactly what it's doing based on that feedback that you gave it. While we wait for it to test the new edit here, let's go over to another board, which is this texture swap board. You can find this demo board in the Learning Center for you to duplicate and edit and manipulate. Let's check out this skill that I created, which is basically a way to reskin any image into any particular material. And in this case, I'm going to use this image here and I'm going to go back to my chat. I'm going to say at, and as soon as I type in the at character, it's going to pull up the two different skills that I have available on this board. I'm going to click on the one that I want to use, and I'm going to say glass, and I'm going to run. While that's going, let's go check back on our test. I'm still seeing some issues potentially. This is our source image, and this is the image that it generated after running that skill test on this. And I'm still seeing plenty of discrepancies here. I need that pose and everything to be identical, and I'm not seeing that here. It's trying another test as well using this as the source image, and now this would be the updated test, and I'm just not seeing what I want so far. I mean, it's similar, but it's not quite what I need. And if I go back and look at these, I'm seeing that all of these are actually made with GPT-2. And when I look at my tests here, I'm seeing that these are being made with Nano Banana Pro. Maybe that has something to do with it. So I'll come back to the agent here as it's asking me to lock it in and to approve. Since I'm not approving yet, I'm going to say, before you save it, make sure that it only uses GPT-2 for the final outputs. And I'll send that off as my next edit here. As we wait for this edit to happen, let's go back to our other board and check out how that glass generation is doing. I see a couple failures here, not exactly sure why. It seems to think that the fingers are kind of inflated. I actually don't mind those generations. However, the final one that it settled on looks pretty darn good to me, even keeping those natural wrinkles around the thumb area even more clearly than in these two previous ones. So I would say that that skill is working just fine. The way we run a skill is we're going to select the asset that we plan on running the skill on. You're going to come back into your agent, and you can just say at select your skill. And then in this case, because I know that this is about retexturing, I'm going to give it the texture that I want, and I will just say wood. And that is how easily you can run a skill on an existing asset. To touch on how to share a skill, it's as easily as going into your skill library, selecting the skill itself, clicking that share button. Then it's going to ask you which skills do you want to share. I'll select the one I want to share, and I'll confirm the share, which will then copy the magic link to my clipboard. You'll see that here. And now I can go into any other board and just paste like Command V literally, which will then pop up this skill import modal, and I can just say add to board. Now that skill is loaded up into this board along with whatever other skills I've had here. Now let's go back and look at our completed test here. This is looking a lot better. I'm really actually liking the way that the pose is staying true. Her hand in this case looks to be very, very accurate. The position of her within the frame looks to be accurate. I'm going to go ahead and lock this in. I'll go back to my chat where it's already waiting for me to say save it or to run another test. Let's run another test just to be sure. I'll hit send on that. It's going to do the same thing again. It's going to create its own subject, and then it's going to test it on that. While we wait for that next test, let's go back over here, check on our wood retexturing. I'll close this out. And this is looking really good. That skill looks great. Previously, this was my workflow. It was based on a big long prompt that I had created before, and it was based on some prompt variables that I would select along with the prompt and the target image, and then I would say run in order to get any kind of variance based on retexturing. And here were all my variables were here. I had ice and grass, etc. And so that's how I used to run these kinds of workflows. Now with skills, it's a lot easier and a lot faster to create, edit, and to share the skill. So that's a very quick rundown of skills in Luma and how to create them, how to run them, and how to edit and share them. A couple other things about skills that I find really interesting. You can run a skill with a custom instruction. I guess what I mean by that is I could select my target image, and then I could bring up the skill again by saying at, and then material reskin. I could say gold. The eyes should be emeralds. A little extra information, a little extra prompt there to customize the way that this skill is run. While I wait for this prompt to run here with the emerald eyes, let's go back into this other board and see how this other skill is holding up. This is the new generation here. This would be the source image, or the image that it's going to run the skill on. And this is the image that it ran and that it generated. It's looking really, really good. The man is looking in the same way. His leg is held out the same way. The pedal is where it's supposed to be. Even the perspective here of the background is staying true. So right now, it's also being made with GPT-2. So right now, this skill to me looks like it's working well after both of these tests. I'm going to say save it. And now it's going to lock that skill in and finalize the skill creation process. As we can see, it has finalized that process, says I locked it in. You can now find that skill in your library as the cultural relocation skill. So if I open up the skills, I can see that's one of my skills on this board. I can also see the different system skills that I have access to here. And I can also see some external skills, which are skills that were brought in from another board, like we did with that material reskin that we copy pasted from the other board. Now going back to our other board, let's take a look at how this ran. And I asked that the eyes should be emeralds. So now you can see the full bust, or the full head and upper body, are gold, holding onto the composition and the pose of the original image. To my material instruction, and it's also running it according to my extra run instruction of keeping or making the eyes into emeralds. So in this case, the skill is working. I'm getting the results I want, and I can lock it in, save it, and share it with anybody on my team or anybody with a Luma account, and they can import directly into their board as well. And that's it. That is how skills are created, edited, and ultimately shared in Luma. Try it out for yourself, create some skills, and please share them with us. We'd love to see what you guys are making. Cheers.